Hello and welcome to the second video of this series where we are talking about infidelity and how to rebuild trust after infidelity. This video is specifically for the person that has been betrayed. So if you have been betrayed, if you are the person that was cheated on, this video is for you. First and foremost, welcome to the Happily Committed Project. If this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and become a part of the community. And if you have already been part of the community for quite some time, welcome back. My name is Danny, and I am the head coach here at the Happily Committed Project, as well as one of the head coaches for the With My Ex Again project. And you've probably seen some of my videos on our Love Advice TV channel. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the subject, which is rebuilding trust after infidelity. If you have been cheated on, if you are the person that was betrayed, I empathize with you. I know how incredibly difficult that can be. I have been there myself before. And like I've said many times before, the videos that I create, the subject matter that I talk about is because I have had personal experience with them myself. And I've also worked with many clients who have been in similar circumstances, if not the same circumstance. So the question for most people that have been betrayed is, how do I move on from this? Like, how do I get past the action itself? How can I ever start to trust this person again? And those are all legitimate questions, and they are all valid questions. The first thing that I always recommend and I invite you to do is take time to process. Sometimes we want to jump directly into fixing it, or we want to use our partner as a freaking punching bag because you're so pissed off and upset at the decision that they made. And I understand that. I get it. But it is just important for you to take a step back and really process what has been said, the information that's been given to you, and the reality that your world has changed. That takes time. That takes a moment. And if you do not allow yourself to process, if you do not allow yourself some space, it is very possible that you may start to compartmentalize, right? Or if you're wanting to fix the relationship and you don't give yourself that space and you're trying to fix it right off the bat without any space whatsoever, there's going to be more arguments. There will be more emotional ups and downs. It is very possible that you'll make some progress regarding communication if that's something that you've struggled with the entire time, because now everything is being laid out on the table. So you feel like you're getting more information than you ever have before. But keep in mind, that's a lot of compounding information that over time may overflow, and you may start to become more triggered, and you may not necessarily be able to navigate your emotions that well long term. So take space, reflect, really sit with yourself and try to pinpoint what it is you are feeling and why. The second part of this is write down your questions. Any questions that you may have now that you know should be written down. And the reason why I say that is because it helps you to view the situation objectively, number one. And number two, it helps you to remain, or at least feel like you are in control to a certain degree, right? Because one of the common feelings that most people have in this situation is that you're losing total control, you're spiraling. So having a little bit of control in the situation is very helpful, but not only that, it will help with a more productive conversation because you'll have a list of things that you want to discuss and questions that you want to ask. And hell, as you write them down, you may start to realize, I've actually had these questions for a really long time. I've just never communicated them. Or I think this might not be the most realistic thing to ask, or the most rational thing to ask at this point. So let me cross that out, right? Instead of just word vomiting and getting everything out and asking all the questions at once, because what's going to happen is you're going to overwhelm your partner, right? The person who cheated, and they may not necessarily provide you with the answers that you want, which will only further perpetuate your anxiety and your stress and your anger and all of those things. The third thing is set expectations and boundaries. In this process, it is very important that there is complete and total transparency, authenticity, and that you're laying everything out on the table. So when your partner lays everything out on the table, the question becomes, what the hell do I do with all of this information? What I say to people, particularly in your situation, set boundaries and expectations. That way you feel like you are A, in control, right? And B, it's the micro process of rebuilding trust. So maybe that expectation is, I want to be able to have access to your phone at least for the next month, or I want you to turn on your locations on your phone so that I know where you're going, or I expect you to check in with me when you're at work, during lunch, when you get to work, during lunch, and when you get home. And as controlling and as intense as that may feel, it may be what you need in order to be able to start to trust this individual again. But I want you to be fully aware of what this process looks like. It's going to take time. It's a marathon. It is not a sprint. And where you're going to really be able to start to trust this person again is through their actions and consistency of action. So set those needs and set those expectations early on. But the most important part is that you stick to the needs and the expectations, and that you stick to the boundaries that you've set. Because oftentimes I find that people will set boundaries not really knowing how to do that. You waver on those boundaries, and then it creates a gray area. Both of you guys are confused, and it creates more conflict. So if you don't know how to set boundaries, if you don't know how to set expectations, I am more than happy to help you with that. That is something that I do on a daily basis with clients, and it is something that I think is incredibly healthy in any relationship, a healthy one, a not healthy one, whatever the case may be, right? So if you feel like you need help with this process, I'm more than happy to hold your hand and to walk you through this, because sometimes we just need a little extra support. So I would highly recommend booking a one-on-one coaching session. I will actually put the link in the description box down below to make your life easier. So you can just go directly there, book your session, and we can start the process of regaining control of your life, because I understand how difficult it can be to feel stuck, to feel like you are in limbo, to feel like you're suffocating. So let's get you to breathe a little bit. And the last thing is forgive. It is important not only to forgive yourself, but to forgive your partner. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do this right away, right? I think that would be an unrealistic expectation, but it depends on your personality. You may be the type of person that can forgive right away, but you won't forget, and that's okay. But at some point, it is going to be necessary for you to forgive your partner for the mistakes that they made if they are consistent, taking accountability, acknowledging their mistakes, and actively investing time and energy into fixing the situation. At some point, we got to wave the white flag, because if not, what's the point? What is the point of going through all of this if it is not to have a healthier, better relationship? I understand the underlying need or want for our partner to understand how much we are suffering. And sometimes the best way of doing that is making them suffer as well. I get it. From just a humanistic perspective, I get it. But if you truly want to reconcile the relationship, that is not the best way to go about it. And again, if you need somebody to help you through that, if you need somebody to help you gain new perspective or different insights so that you don't approach it from that way, more than happy to help you through that. I have helped many, many, many people before in this type of situation rebuild and create a much stronger and healthier relationship. I would also highly recommend the Infidelity training program. That is something that we created specifically for people like you, for individuals that are in this situation, for the unfaithful and for the betrayed. So I'm going to put that link in the description box down below as well, so you can pick up that training today and start to actively make changes in your relationship and start to feel like you are becoming unstuck, because nobody likes to feel like they are stuck or suffocating. So please utilize those resources that I've given you. They are in the description box down below, and start to regain control of your life. Again, my name is Danny. I'm your life and relationship coach. I hope you're staying happy and healthy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.